Shalom, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash, double honors to our elders and apostles of great millstone that taught us his truth, peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful like Akim, teaching and preaching his truth with all righteousness and sincerity. This is Akia Wasap, and today's lesson is entitled, Ye Careless Women, for the vintage shall fail. And Lord willing, you be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the true names of the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son. And as always, the sit downs, the lessons, the street speaking is for the remnant, the elect, the Israel of the Most High, and to use the gospel preach. So, got a couple of articles here going into the EBT benefits, the extra food stamp benefits is being cut off, all right, due to the pandemic era, benefits that the government was giving out. And it's coming to an end. And, in some of these articles, you know, they speaking about how for this, like this one, an example, it says pandemic era SNAP benefits end for millions of Americans as costs rise, and with inflation and all these different economic woes happening, the last thing on your mind is benefits being cut off, which helped you financially with the rise of food costs, and a lot of the majority of the people that benefit off of the SNAP programs, the EBT, is women. And then here, there's another article or a short video. It says 42% of global workforce experiencing burnout. Women reportedly worst off. So it's bad news for women. All right, as Esau is, changing his gears and, going towards setting up his new financial system and implantable technology. Here's some visuals here. All right, MC hipping. You know, um, certain things is gonna get phased out. All right, and women depending on this system, depending on child support, depending on low income housing, Section 8, EBT, low child care, all right, and all these different medical benefits, all that's going to be getting phased out. And these is, signs that things is going to be getting terribly worse. And then on the other hand, you got the worker burnout is at an all-time high, and women is reportedly worst off. So, when you combine these two situations, you will have to think about what's written in Isaiah 32, which is where we get the title of the lesson from. So I'm going to play a little bit of this video here. Now, this dude that speaks, he is a simp because he's going to make a simp statement. But, here's the data in regards to worker burnout and women reportedly worst off. So tune in.
Worker burnout. Are you burned out? Well, levels have reached a new high. According to one recent survey, the Future Forum, pulling more than 10,000 workers around the world, and 42% of them say they're feeling mentally and physically exhausted due to stressed work.
And when they brought that out, I thought about how in this system Esau is going to wear out the saints of the Most High. With once again the cost of living, inflation, the different goods and services being limited, rental properties going up, to get a mortgage is going up, the finance, the feds raising the interest rates makes it more challenging to get loans from banks, especially if you're trying to get a car loan. Things is getting very, very expensive, and people got to work more in order to get basic necessities, and that's causing people to be burnt out. You got different things in the workplace going on, like silent quitting, worker burnout. You know, um, People, is just fed up with the daily woes of just going to work, man, and it's all part of biblical prophecy. So here in Daniel, um, the seventh chapter, which Daniel, he was a Israelite. He was on the scene during the time of the Babylonian Empire, and I want to get this particular precept. It speaks about how in this particular kingdom they're going to wear out the saints of the Most High. No, not that one. me see if I can find it. Wear out the saints. Pretty sure it's right there in my face here, 725. Daniel 7, verse 25. Uh, I hit the point just for the sake of time. You want to start the 23rd verse, goes into the Roman Empire and then its allies. And a part of this, the allies, you had America come out of Britain. All right. And this chapter speaks about the little horn. And I'll read the 24th verse to build the vibration. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. So these are the allies of the Roman Empire. In the ancient world, you had the Visigoth, the Suevi, the Burgundians. Today, you got France, Spain, um, Portugal, all right, Greece, all right, the allies, the vassal states. It says, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and shall subdue 3 kings. Now, when America came into power, you had the War of Independence. You had a series of wars. You had the French American War, Spanish American War, and then the War of Independence, which America got their their start when they broke off from the UK. And those are those 3 kings that were subdued: the French, the Spanish, and then UK. And it says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High. Talking about in this kingdom, which you look at the religions, you look at the artifacts of the biblical figures, and just that prideful speaking. All right, he's speaking great words to the Most High, and one of the words that Esau speaks, and I know I'm going off into a different topic, but it's all edifying through the spirit. One of the proud things that Esau speaks is that no one will take him down. He speaks through his military. All right, it says in Ecclesiastes 5:3, and say not, who shall control me for my works? For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride. And these Edomites is the most prideful nation. When you read Obadiah, the first chapter, and this is the attitude that Esau has. Who will control me for my works? Basically, who gonna stop me? I'm unstoppable. I got power. I got rule. I got the greatest blessing. I got the sword. I got the missile. I got the military. I'm ruling over here in Babylon the Great, which is America. I got great influence all over the world. Who gonna stop me? So the Lord is gonna surely revenge thy pride, and that's you know one of the ways in which Esau boasts. It says he shall speak great words against the Most High through his philosophies and everything he pushes out. He's blasphemous, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. So when you read articles like this going into people getting burnt out, 40%, that's almost half of the global workforce report burnout. All right, that's wearing out the saints of the Most High. And majority, because the children of Israel is as the sand of the sea, majority of the people that work these jobs is Israelites. All right, so continuing in Daniel 7:25, and he shall wear out the saints of the Most High, the Israelites, and think to change times and laws. The calendar, the laws. There's certain land Sabbaths that was supposed to be adhered, but Esau, he doesn't adhere to those laws. That's why he has to put GMO and all these different chemicals in the ground so it can yield forth its increase. And in the law, a woman is under a man. Esau makes women equal. And we can go all day running parallels on how he have changed times and laws. He says that, the new year starts in the middle of winter, when the new year comes around the time of the Passover in the spring. So Esau, he just changed things. A day ends at midnight, where the scriptures speak about how an evening in the morning was the first day. A day starts when the sun goes down. So this system is completely adverse to righteousness. That's why scriptures call Esau Satan, or the devil. And they shall be given into his hand until times and a dividing of time. So the Israelites will be in Esau's hands for a period of time. But the point I want to get is Esau's wearing out the saints of the Most High. All right, let's keep tapping in on this video.
According to the Future Forum, though, women are experiencing burnout far more than men, 46% compared to 37%. And nearly half of workers under the age of 30 are experiencing burnout as well, 48% compared to 40% for the.
So people's getting burnt out, and women coming in on the top of that list. You understand? And you know, this whole women's lib, feminism, and all these different spirits that Esau pushes out and promotes for women in this society. You have women thinking that they can live up to the standard of a man. You know, being able to work, labor, you know, put in work, endure, you know, those masculine spirits that men have. Women think they could be partakers of that too. But we're seeing the end of those vintage ways, you know, this feminism. We're seeing the end of those different benefits that Esau is giving you women, and it's showing that y'all getting burnt out. You know, you gotta do all this work, working two jobs, and you got kids. You know, if you got kids, you gotta either wear your family out or you have to pay more for childcare. So it's like you working all this, you know, these jobs, making all this money, all to give it back to Esau. But if you was in order, you wouldn't be in this situation.
Those over 30. So I want your analysis here, my friend. Why are women and young people feeling more burned out than men and older workers?
Now, like I said, this dude he's gonna make a statement, and you know he's a simp, you know. But just tune in, eat the meat and spit out the bones.
So women, okay, so two things. I don't really know. I was surprised to see that those under the age of 30 were more burnt out than those over the age of 30. That took me a little bit by surprise. Women, I think from personal experience, you have a lot going on. If you have kids, you feel like you're constantly running around on this circle of life.
But wait a minute, you signed up for that. You know, you signed up for, you know, I got kids, I want to work, you know, I want my career, I want this, I want that, you know, and all these different, you know, things that this kingdom deceives you into believing. You wanted that.
I think a lot of that probably plays into their day-to-day work, me personally speaking, and I do think you do become a little overwhelmed. I don't know.
Yeah, overwhelmed because you subscribe to America's way of marriage. You know, see, in the ancient world in the East, a man had multiple wives, and those wives just wasn't for the pleasure of the man. You know, it was to help run the household. You know, you know, you had some women that were that had children. Some women they didn't have children under that man, and you know that household worked together in unison to, you know, aid each other in the house. You know, you had women helping out with children. You had one wife, she's cooking. One other wife, she's cleaning. Another one tending to the kids. It's a rotation there, and the man is out there. He was probably a farmer, you know, laborer. He had his sons. You had, you know, certain hired servants working for him. All right, and the woman's role was, you know, to, you know, guide the house. But since you subscribe to the philosophy that Satan gave you, feminism and women's independence, and you know, I can go out here and work, and you know, a man should only have one wife and all that. Now, look what you're dealing with: worker burnout. You got to go work 8, 10 hours, then come home and deal with the kids, helping out with homework, doing all these different things. So, all this stuff is biting you women in the ass.
Oh, if that is the case for women out there, certainly not probably as a common of a case for those under 30, given the number of women that have kids under the age of 30. But I think that probably has something to do with it.
I think you nailed it with women, because the women I know who are working are burned out in particular because the guy at home is not holding up his end of the bargain.
Yeah, and it's always shame on men, you know. Oh, the guy at home isn't holding the end of his bargain, but you don't explore the fact that maybe that woman that has that job, she probably have a better job than him, and she's exercising lordship over that man. You know, see, Babylon's the way of marriage, isn't in order with what the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai established. So of course you're gonna have contention in the house. And this simp man, these guys gonna get destroyed in the coming days of trouble.
And most of us are not, or some are just naturally born multitaskers that want to take on those things.
Is that
but
you?
nonetheless, they do feel burned out. Now, I'm going to play old guy here because that's my resident role on the younger workers. I just think they came into this workforce with different expectations. Some came into the workforce during COVID when they were allowed to be at home and in their PJs. And sorry, they didn't have a chance to develop.
And with Esau, like I said, you got to eat the meat, spit out the bones. Esau brings a lot of confusion with these articles, man. I'm gonna put it in the chat, and you bros can, finish watching it. But we got the point. Women is worst off with this workforce experience and burnout. So you got women suffering the worst at the workplace in regards to burnout, and then on top of EBT benefits coming to a halt. So the venture's wage is felling, you women. And this is Isaiah 32:9 says, "Rise up, you women that are at ease, because this society promotes comfort for women," with the different incentive programs, different programs that the government enables for women. As long as they kick the man out or is divorced, then they get these different liberties and comforts that this world holds. Hear my voice. The voice of the Lord is the prophets. Hosea 12:10. I have spoken by the prophets. I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. So you women are supposed to hear us speak. All right, but you with guys like this dude on this video bashing men, these women, they think men is the second class citizens and men don't know what's going on and so on and so forth. But the Lord is raising up the prophets. The prophets got the answers. So you got to humble yourself, repent, come to the men of the Lord to get the answers. Ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. You got to hear what the Lord is saying through the mouths of the prophets. Many days and years shall you be troubled. So it's going to be a long period of time for trouble for these women. And we're seeing it. A lot of these tech companies, a lot of these jobs is doing furloughs, laying off employees. A lot of people's getting fired. All right. And then you got these different incentive programs that's getting taken away. EBT, benefits, SNAP, the whole red pill movement, the truth pill movement. Men, is being done, making vows. They're making vows now to not cold approach a nigga woman. So you got men not checking for you. And then the sips that you got on your comment boards and in your inboxes on social media, you don't want those guys. So, the hedge of protection that Esau is giving you women is being taken away. Y'all finna be left out there. And it's going to be a great reproach for you women. Isaiah, the 4th chapter. Many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women, for the venture shall fail. And we saw the carelessness of women. So if we saw the carelessness of women, then there's a particular judgment that's going to go out. All right, it's going to come in the name of trouble, Jacob's trouble. All right, the venture shall fail. The ventures is the old ways, these different customs and cultural things that Esau has enabled for women. That's all going to change. It's going to fail. The gathering shall not come. You're not going to reap the benefits. Tremble, you women that are at ease. Be troubled, you careless ones. The scriptures is pushing a vibration on how careless women have become. And then I got this other article here, dailymail.com, breaking news. Cops raid home of estranged husband of murder Illinois' mother of 3. 42-year-old was found dead with multiple gunshot wounds after she failed to pick up her sons for school. Now, when you read the backstory, all right, the wife and husband, the husband and wife, should I say, they were going through a divorce, and all of a sudden his wife gets found put to death. Now, they said the father, the husband, he was cooperating and all this and all that, but, they were probably going through a divorce because she was stepping out. You see she has like a little bit of a fit body. You already know she works some type of HR position, some type of high position in the workplace. So the boss is hitting on her. The janitor is hitting on her. She's getting that attention at work that she's not getting from her husband. And then when she comes home from work, she got to go to soccer practice and baseball practice. She got to go to, the different musical choir rehearsal because this boy, he's into playing the flute, and she got to do all these different things. So when she go to work, she's getting the attention. Guys is hitting on her. Guys is taking her to lunch. She's giving up the box. She's a adulterer. The husband found out. The man that she was dealing with secretly, you know, probably, put her down, which was judgment from Yahweh Shem Shai. Or the husband probably hired a hitman because um, the divorce was going to get nasty. She was going to get the house. She was going to get the kids. She was going to get his pension. She was going to get alimony, so on and so forth. But, the carelessness of these women, and you hear that story day in, day out with a lot of these relationships, man. This careless woman, she got put down. But I just went into that because the scriptures speak about the carelessness of women. They have no fear. So when the Lord bring that trouble, then things is gonna change up. It says, "Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins." Isaiah 32:11. So the Lord is telling you, humble yourself down, get in the spirit of mourning, because it's gonna be a troubling time entering into Jacob's trouble, man. They shall lament for the teats in the pleasant fields for the fruitful vine. They're gonna mourn and lament for those old ways, those old benefits, the teats, the things that they were sucking on off this system. They're gonna lament for that. Oh, I remember when, I had the Section A, I had the EBT, and I was protected. I can call 911. I had health care and all these different things. They're gonna lament for all that. They're gonna lament for the pleasant fields. They're gonna lament for the fruitful vine. The Lord is gonna snatch away all those benefits. Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, that's a position of difficulty. Thorns and briars that choke plants. So, position of difficulty is coming up on the children of Israel. And if you're not of the elect, then you're not going to have that hedge of protection, and you're going to get destroyed out here. Yeah, upon all the house of joy in the joyous city is Babylon the Great. That's all it promotes. Entertainment, fun, do as thou wilt, travel, live it up, concerts, holidays, beaches. That's this place. So this place is going to experience a very hard time, and the ones that's going to be impacted the most through the spirit is women. Women were probably worst off with worker burnout. So it's gonna go from little articles like this and EBT being taken away to we really seeing these women out here in straits. They already selling their body. I can go in the chat. I'll go up and down a particular street, and you see so many women just selling themselves out there on the streets. So things are gonna get terribly worse. Men ain't checking on these women. Men is getting their passports and they getting up out of here. So bad times is coming for the nigga woman. And shalom to the Akim and Akwaf that's listening and learning. Shalom to the beloved brother Damawaf. Shalom, y'all Bashim Al Shai, Barakatah, brother. Shalom. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Lord willing, we're edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, true names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. Shalom, Akim, stay strong.